Hello all. In this video, I will explain the working of class D commutation. Class D commutation which is also called as voltage commutation, and also it is also called as auxiliary commutation. So, and also it is called parallel plate capacitor commutation. Why it is voltage commutation? Because the voltage produced across the capacitor will automatically turn off the SCR T1. That's why it is called voltage commutation, and it is also called as auxiliary commutation. So we use TEA. So this is nothing but TEA, nothing but auxiliary thyristor. So this is auxiliary thyristor. That's why this is called auxiliary. By using this auxiliary thyristor, we can turn off the SCR main thyristor, that is T1. That's why this is called auxiliary thyristor, auxiliary commutation. And also it is called capacitor, parallel plate capacitor. So a capacitor is connected just like a parallel to the supply. That's why this is called parallel plate capacitor commutation. Before I proceed, there are two assumptions uh, required to understand this concept. One is load current is constant. Load current is constant throughout the operation. Throughout the operation, load current is constant. And second, capacitor is initially charged by supply voltage. Nothing but Vs voltage across the capacitor is equal to supply voltage. These are the assumptions required to understand the concept. First of all, let us look at the operation. So this is the actual circuit. This is the actual circuit. This is a battery, positive and negative. Positive is negative, nothing but negative this is the DC supply. In the DC supply, we should use this is also called whatever the commutation which you are using with the DC supply, it is called forced commutation. Forced commutation. Let me clean this one. And a DC supply is connected, and at the initial position there is a T1. There is a T1. This is T1. This is T1 will be turned off. This is T1 will be turned off, and this is T auxiliary thyristor also turned off. These two is off initially. When auxiliary thyristor TA is on with gate supply, then from the supply capacitor will be charges in this path to the load. Capacitor is charges with these terminals positive and negative to the load. Now after charging the capacitor, after charging a capacitor with these terminals positive and negative, this is positive and negative, and reverse voltage, negative is connected to anode and positive is connected to cathode, because look at this one carefully. So the capacitor is charges through in this path, and negative is connected to here, and look at this one here, positive is connected to here, nothing but reverse voltage. Reverse voltage is connected across the auxiliary thyristor. So simply negative, this is capacitor is negative connected to here, so that thyristor TA will be turned off automatically if the capacitor reaches to the full voltage, which is equal to voltage across the capacitor, voltage across the supply, sorry. So that's what I assumed. This is capacitor initially charged. This is plus 2 and positive and negative. Capacitor initially charged, so that after initially capacitor is charged, so that the thyristor T1 will be turned off. This T1 will be turned off, TA will be turned off, capacitor is charged in this direction. So capacitor is initially charged, nothing but we can take either fully charged capacitor also we can take, but how it is charged? By means of turning on of thyristor, auxiliary thyristor. Now look at the operation. Look at this figure. This capacitor, if the previously I took this thyristor, auxiliary thyristor is in off condition, and the capacitor will be positive and negative. If thyristor T1 will be turned on, if the thyristor T1 will be turned on, what will happen? There are two paths to flow the current. There are two paths to flow the current. One is in this direction to the load, and there is another path is available here. There is another path. Inductor will be charged with positive and negative, and diode will be forward biased, and in this direction. In this direction here, current to the, this is a capacitor already like this, previously positive and negative, so that current will be charges in this direction. After a certain time, capacitor charges will be reaches to, current through the capacitor will be reaches to 0, and again capacitor will be charged in the reverse direction in this path. This is positive and negative, and diode will be forward biased, and the capacitor will be charges is positive and negative, positive and negative. So there are two currents. This current, this current LC combination current is nothing but a sinusoidal current. This is nothing but a tank circuit coming to picture. Tank circuit come into picture, and current to the through in this path is nothing but a sinusoidal manner, because the inductor and capacitor is available. Only inductor and capacitor is available, so that current through this second loop, current through this loop is, so this is constant current. Okay, constant current, and in this path current, whatever the current is flowing here, inductor will be positively charged and negatively charged, and again here capacitor is positive and negative. So finally this is a diagram, and now if we turn on auxiliary thyristor, what will happen? If we turn on auxiliary thyristor, what will happen? If we turn on the auxiliary thyristor, what will happen? This will be short circuited, this will be short circuited, and look at this one, this is thyristor T1. If it is short circuited, look at this one, this positive appear here, and this negative will appear here. This is, here is negative and here is positive. Look at again. So if auxiliary thyristor, so when the capacitor is charged in this direction, in the capacitor, let us stop this here. When the capacitor charged with these polarities negative and positive, if auxiliary thyristor is turned on, auxiliary thyristor is turned on, this will be short circuited. If it is short circuited, this will be short circuited, and this positive will appear here, and this negative will appear here. Nothing but reverse voltage applied across the thyristor T1. Reverse voltage is applied across the thyristor T1, so that thyristor T1 will come from forward conduction mode to forward blocking state. Forward conduction state to forward blocking state, and this thyristor again allows the current through the load in this direction, allows the current through the load in this direction, and capacitor will discharge its energy. Again it will be charged from positive to negative, and if it is charged from positive to negative, negative applied here, so that this thyristor, auxiliary thyristor, will be turned off. So this is a, if the thyristor TUA will be turned off, if the thyristor TA will be turned off, this is the figure, this is the first figure, first case how it will come here, positive and negative. This is the thyristor T1, and TA will be turned off, same location. After our discussion, after fifth figure, we will get the final figure like the previous one. This is So we got the final first figure, nothing but this thing will be repeats, this thing will be repeats. I will explain again. I will revise once again. Initially these thyristor will be off, open circuited, this will be off, open circuited. When thyristor Ta will be turned on, these two will be off, and when thyristor Ta will be turned on, capacitor will be charged in this direction. After capacitor is fully charged, that is Vc is equal to Vs. Thyristor Ta will be thyristor Ta will be reverse biased. Reverse biased is nothing but this is negative terminal is connected to anode, so that this will be reverse biased, and it will act as a open circuit. And when this is off, and Ta will be open circuited, and capacitor is charged in this direction, in this way. Now if let me clean this one so that you can see better. If thyristor T1 is turned on, current will flows in this direction to the load, and another path is to the inductor to the capacitor in this path. Inductor will be in this positive and negative, and capacitor have previously having positive polarity, negative polarity, which will discharges to the load in this direction, and capacitor will be charges again with this polarity in positive and negative. If auxiliary thyristor is turned on, if auxiliary thyristor is turned on, what will happen? If auxiliary thyristor is turned on, look at this one. If auxiliary thyristor this is turned on, this will be short circuited, so that this positive terminal is connected to here positive, and this negative appear here, so the thyristor T1 will be off and act as a open circuited. And capacitor discharges its stored energy through the thyristor Ta and to the load, and finally capacitor is charged again, discharging the negative charge in this direction. Again it will store the energy from positive, it will negative will be discharges in this direction, and again it will charges capacitor with positive and negative, like this positive and negative. After charging the fully charging the capacitor, negative is connected to anode, so that it act as a open circuit. Okay, oh, it act as open circuit. That is similar to the this figure. This is that figure is similar to the this figure, nothing but capacitor is again fully charged. If you turn on the thyristor T on T1, index this will be turned on, and current flows in this path and another path in this direction. And the capacitor is through the inductor, capacitor charges with negative polarities like this. If you turn on auxiliary thyristor, again thyristor T1 will be turned off, again same thing will be repeats, same thing will be repeats. Now let us see the waveforms, how the thyristors T1 and auxiliary thyristor will behave with respect to the capacitor current and the load current. So to understand this one, I think I already discussed about the tank circuit. When capacitor and inductor is connected in series, the waveform between these two is sinusoidal. Current is nothing but I is nothing but Im sin omega t. Omega is equal to oscillations under root of LC. These are the oscillations between the capacitor to inductor, which is sinusoidal in manner. So if gate pulse is given to the thyristor T1, gate thyristor will conduct because the capacitor is initially charged, and this is the source current, and this is the load current IL, load current, nothing but so if thyristor T1 is turned on, this is the one path to flow the current, and another path is in this direction. So here capacitor is charged, and this current also flows through this in this path, so that we are discussing about the thyristor 1 current. Thyristor 1 current is the Thyristor 1 current is the sum of the supply current plus capacitor current. So this is the output current plus this current. So that this is nothing but a sinusoidal manner because the capacitor current is available. Capacitor current is available. Nothing but up to capacitor current increases, up to voltage across the capacitor will reach us to zero. Voltage across the capacitor will reach us to zero. And again, this is the load current path, and this is another path to the inductor to the capacitor, and the capacitor charges to the inductor in this direction, negative and positive terminal. Negative and positive terminal. Nothing but up to this point, capacitor will be charges, discharges, and after that capacitor will be reversely charged through the inductor, so that current will be decreases. Current will be decreases because reverse current is there. And voltage across the thyristor always zero until gate pulse is given to the auxiliary thyristor. If you give the gate pulse to the auxiliary thyristor, T1 will be off. Nothing but voltage across the thyristor open circuited, so that voltage across the thyristor T1 will be exist. Now, so this is the current through the thyristor. This is up to, so this is up to discharging of the capacitor, again charging up the capacitor through the inductor, and the capacitor is discharged, nothing but charge is discharged, and again reversely charged through the inductor. And this is IC. Capacitor current is sinusoidal because capacitor current is nothing but why it is sinusoidal, because I already discussed tank circuit. In the tank circuit, if capacitor inductor is connected in series, then current through this one becomes sinusoidal in manner. Sinusoidal in manner. So this is capacitor current is nothing but in this direction. Inductor and diode will be forward biased and short circuited. So only inductor and capacitor. So capacitor current is nothing but a inductor current. So this current is nothing but a sinusoidal. So that this is sinusoidal. IP is nothing but a peak value of the current in the capacitor. And after capacitor fully charged in the reverse direction, current in this capacitor is constant, and the voltage across the capacitor is constant, and output current is constant. Now output current is always constant, I assumed that point. Now if gate pulse is given to the, if look at this one, voltage across the capacitor is negatively charged, nothing but this is negative and this is positive, negative and positive. If thyristor auxiliary pulse is given to the auxiliary thyristor, this negative is connected to this positive is connected to here, and this negative is connected to here, so that you can see here, you can see the polarities of the thyristor, voltage across the thyristor T1. Here it is negative, nothing but supply capacitor negative is here and capacitor positive is here, so that T1 will be off. T1 will be off. Look at this one. When thyristor T1 will be off, negative voltage is available. This negative voltage across the capacitor, negative voltage is available, and voltage across the negative capacitor gradually decreases through the auxiliary thyristor. So this is the final voltage across the thyristor T1 is negative, and voltage across the, due to the negative supply, this current will be discharges to the auxiliary thyristor to the load, and after certain duration this is capacitor is positively charged and negatively charged, and negative is connected to anode of the auxiliary thyristor. This will be open circuited, and final circuit will be like this. This is the final circuit, so that there is no path to flow the current. So after voltage, nothing but capacitor is charged in this direction, positive and negative, and voltage is positive and negative is available. Voltage across the thyristor T1 is positive voltage is available, and nothing but voltage across the, this is also same manner. Voltage across the capacitor is negative, discharges through the auxiliary thyristor, and again pick up the voltage as positive and negative, positive and negative, and which is constant, which is similar, whatever the voltage is appear here, voltage across the capacitor, which is equal to the voltage across the thyristor T1, which is equal to Vs. Now in this position, and capacitor current in this direction, capacitor current is only rectangular in manner. Why it is rectangular? Because capacitor inductor cannot come into picture. Inductor cannot come into picture. Only capacitor current is available. So that this is ideal capacitor which you are taking. So that this is constant. So that output current always I chosen as constant. So this is the waveforms of the class D commutation, and the same thing will repeat for every cycle. This is all about the class D commutation. So class D commutation is also known as a voltage commutation, because with the voltage it is turning off with the negative voltage. Auxiliary commutation, nothing but auxiliary thyristor is used, and the parallel capacitor commutation, because this capacitor is charged positive and negative positive, and it is connected across the supply, so that this is parallel based capacitor. This is all about the class D commutation.